to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. Gamers are exploring the cyberpunk streets of Prague thanks to the release of Deus Ex Mankind Divided this week, myself included, but not everyone is happy with some of Square Enix's launch time decisions. Specifically, fans are upset at how the company has handled the Covert Agent Pack, one of Deus Ex's day one pre-order bonuses. The Covert Agent Pack supplies Adam Jensen with outfits, weapons, and a number of consumable items like credit chips, ammo, and the game's all-important praxis points, which allow you to upgrade your augmented abilities. It all sounds well and good until players discovered that the consumables were a one-time use, meaning the praxis points and the credits couldn't be transferred across saves or new roles or anything like that. I mean, why players thought Square Enix would gift you unlimited free ability points is anyone's guess, but people are pretty angry about it, which has forced Square Enix to respond on Reddit and update text in the game to clarify. So be warned, scum savers. Once those praxis points are spent, there's no going back, so choose wisely. Halo 5 is finally coming to PC next month, sort of. Microsoft has now confirmed that the game's Forge mode, which was announced for Windows back in May, will launch for PC gamers on September 8th. With Forge on the PC, you'll be able to build custom maps and game types for Halo 5, for Xbox One, now with super refined mouse clicking placement, which honestly will be way better than trying to place things with the Xbox One controller. In addition to building on PC, you'll also be able to test your creations with friends, and that's because Forge mode on PC will also support custom matches for up to 16 people, which is actually pretty cool. So it's not the full-fledged Halo 5 release that people were hoping for from Microsoft, but the fact that they're allowing for custom multiplayer matches is at least a step in the right direction, one that's been a long time coming. So keep hope alive, PC gamers. One day, you might be able to finish that fight. One fight that couldn't be finished by Xbox gamers, however, was the doomed Xbox Live Arcade port of Nintendo 64's Goldeneye 007. You know that classic! The game that was rumored for years and confirmed back in 2008 but never saw the light of day made a surprise appearance on YouTube this week in the form of 30 minutes of gameplay, just so you know what you don't have. The footage was posted online by Rare Thief and seems to show the former Nintendo 64 first-person shooter in all its glory. It's certainly enough to make gamers wishful for what was so close to possible on the Xbox 360. Apparently, the game was shelved when it was just 2 months away from being finished, which sucks. Interestingly enough, Xbox boss Phil Spencer has commented on the new footage on Twitter. When asked about whether or not it was real, Spencer cryptically said that Goldeneye has always been a rights issue rather than a code issue. Considering the rights were tied up by Rare, Activision, MGM, and Nintendo, yeah, the fact that it got as close as 2 months away from release is pretty impressive. Drink your Ovaltine, Overwatch players. That's basically the message that fans got from Blizzard after the augmented reality game for Overwatch's new character went totally off the rails yesterday. In a campaign that's been building for months to unlock Sombra, the mysterious new hacker-type character, the game's faithful thought they were right on the verge of an important discovery thanks to a glitched-out forum thread on Battle.net. This led to more pixel hunting, a countdown timer, hacked Twitter feeds, general insanity. That all culminated in another countdown. Of course it did. Naturally, the people who've been hunting the hardest for Sombra feel like this is kind of a giant middle finger from the folks at Blizzard, and fans have taken to voicing their frustration about it on Reddit and in Blizzard's forums. Some are angry that every clue simply leads to a message to wait for more clues. So you're mad that you're playing an augmented reality game. Welcome to I Love Bees. Unfortunately for them, Blizzard probably has a set release date in mind for Sombra, and no amount of pixel hunting is gonna bring her out early, unless I'm saying that because I'm in on it. Angry Jokers, bad hits on Rotten Tomatoes. The DC Cinematic Universe hasn't exactly been fist-pumping its way to victory over the last 6 months. But that's not stopping them from marching forward with their plans, even when those plans include the movie that almost nobody asked for, Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark, featuring characters like John Constantine and Swamp Thing, who I guess kind of already do have their own movies, now has a new director in Doug Liman, who previously directed The Bourne Identity. However, in joining Justice League Dark, Liman also had to leave Fox's Gambit movie. That would make Liman now the second director to leave the Gambit film over disagreements with Fox, which probably isn't the best sign considering it's supposed to start filming in January. But on the flip side, hey, at least it's got Channing Tatum, right? Everyone's super happy about that. And probably a Deadpool cameo, since someone's gonna have to pick up the slack now that Hugh Jackman is leaving the X-Men universe, but never our hearts. we'll love your muscles forever, Hugh. Just putting that out there. Moving on from Hugh Jackman's muscles, it's official. Excel screwed up science, or, well, just genetic science to be specific. According to several researchers, bogus Excel calculations are responsible for 20% of all scientific papers on genes to be totally borked. They published this information in a new paper writing a programmatic scan of leading genomics journals reveals that approximately 1/5 of papers with supplementary Excel gene lists contain erroneous gene name conversions. That's a page turner. Apparently, this is because Excel doesn't play nice with gene names, often converting them to dates or floating point numbers. Now, to be fair to Excel, part of the problem here is because scientists abbreviate gene names in ways that are problematic for software. For instance, the gene septin-2 is labeled by scientists as sept2, which Excel then converts very sensibly into September 2nd. I'm not sure if it's more alarming that software settings cause 20% of all scientific papers on a subject to break, or that 20% of scientists aren't checking their work in Excel. Pick one. Of course, the biggest question here is, where was Clippy, man, and why wasn't he on the job, right? That's what happens when you ditch him. Everyone pack your bags. It's time to leave this tiny blue dot for a slightly bigger red dot. In what's being dubbed by some as the biggest astronomy find in years, astronomers have discovered a potentially habitable Earth-sized planet orbiting Proxima Centauri, our closest star. This planet is exciting for scientists because it sits right in the Goldilocks zone, where a planet can sustain water because it's neither too hot nor too cold, because it's at the right distance from its sun. Proxima Centauri is a red dwarf star, so it's a little bit dimmer than our sun, and it's just 4 light years away. It's practically next door. I mean, it means basically that with current technology, we could scope it out in as few as 20 years. At the moment, all we know is that it's 1.3 times bigger than Earth and completes its orbit in just 11 days, which would make for a way shorter year. So basically, we'll live in an awesome climate and live way, way longer than we do here on Earth. That's how that works, right? That's science. You count things. What do you guys think of these stories from the roundup today? Let us know in the comments, and for future updates from every corner of the internet, like this video and subscribe to the know. With the commas and the dashes.
Double dash makes it weird.
The double dashes make it really fucking weird.
Mario Kart?
That was the best Mario Kart.
I like 64, but Double Dash was really fun.
Double Dash was great just because I liked the co-op elements, and you could
that was really fun.
Also, just putting this out there, it's really good if you're dating someone who's not a gamer, and you can just be like, here, you do the bumping.
It's the little brother scenario.
It's a little brother scenario. I mean, if you're dating your little brother, that's a little bit weird, but that you do you. Or just genetic. God, this is the worst day. Okay.